Hey, how's it going? So today what I want to talk about is how to play better solos in just 5 simple steps. These steps, they're going to take some time. Think of yourself like a sponge. Sit yourself in this stuff. Let yourself slowly or quickly absorb this. It's all up to you, okay? Your step number 1, you're going to want to learn your notes. Learn your musical alphabet. And then also apply that knowledge to your fretboard, okay? Take yourself 5 minutes each day and learn A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, all on the fretboard, on every single string. You don't have to go all the way crazy, things like that. Learn like 5 frets and open, you know? And then do that for a day, a week, a couple of weeks, a month, a couple of months, whatever it takes you to nail it down. Then move on and move on and move on. Sooner or later, you're gonna have the whole fretboard memorized and you're never, ever, ever gonna have to memorize it again. Step number 2 is gonna be you playing a lead part, not necessarily a solo, but play a lead melody on one single string, okay? So if you're in a song that is using a minor scale, use a horizontal minor scale. But the point of this is you don't necessarily have to know the major or minor right now. This is limiting you onto one string and a handful of frets and still making good music, catchy music, something that somebody wants to stop and listen to, okay? If you can accomplish that on one single string, then your solos are gonna be better whenever you move on and start doing other things, start adding other strings, start, using different scales. If you can be creative and catchy on one string using just a handful of notes, boom, you've got it. Step 3, learn yourself a couple of different scale options. So learn a major scale. Learn 2 shapes or 2 forms of that major scale. And ultimately learn the king of all scales, the minor pentatonic scale, okay? The minor pentatonic scale, no matter what anybody tells you, is and will always be the king of all guitar scales. It's not going anywhere. It's the one that is the most catchy. It's the one that is the one that's kind of burned into our souls with everybody is still playing this minor pentatonic scale, okay? For instance, this is kind of what I do in my own day-to-day playing. So I know the major scale, and I know what I refer to as form 1 of the major scale. We're gonna start on fret number 3. Well, I'm doing the G major scale, by the way, so that's why we're gonna start on fret 3, which is a G. Okay? The only reason why we really learn these scales like this is just so that we know what is available to hit for us, okay? What is available? What are the available options? That's why we learn these scales, okay? That is my first option right here. Okay, so I can make some things happen with there if I just know if I know all the options right there, okay? All of these steps are referring back to step 1, which is get comfortable with your fretboard, okay? So if you can memorize what to play and where to play it and when to play it, then you can relax and just kind of have fun and make music, okay? The other assignment is to learn a minor pentatonic scale. The minor pentatonic scale is the king of all guitar scales that we have. Right up here, E minor pentatonic scale. Okay, so there's the first shape of this, or form, or box, whatever you want to call it. There's the first form of that minor pentatonic scale that I've learned. Now I'm gonna learn another shape of it just so I have an extra set of options to go to, okay? And so the one that I like to use is right here. We're now gonna start on string 5, the A string, but at fret 7, the E, okay? Okay, so there is my second form of my minor pentatonics. So the reason why we're learning a couple of different options here is exactly what I just said. So you have options while you're playing. You don't want to go, when it's your turn to solo, you don't want to just go to the same spot every single time, okay? Your step 4 is gonna be, you're gonna want to learn how to bend, okay? So on guitar, when you when you bend one note to another note, it just kind of has this emotional kind of effect, okay? And you can really hear it really well in the minor pentatonic. So I'm just gonna give you kind of a minor pentatonic thing. Right, so those bends kind of just add a lot of flavor, a lot of spice, a lot, you know, just they're really cool. They have a lot of emotion attached to them, okay? So you're gonna wanna learn how to bend. This can also, when you're playing on your single string with a handful of notes, learn how to bend. So like, let's say we're using a major scale. Open, fret number 2, fret number 4, fret number 5, fret number 7, fret number 9. Let's just stop there. I need to learn how to, let's say I want to go from this fret 5 note to a fret 7 note. I need to learn how to bend it to that note. Kind of overbend it, but anyway. Or maybe you just need to do, that's called a full step bend, where you, right? Right? Same thing, just has a different kind of flavor to it. Now, if you want to do a half step bend, right? These bends are very important. There's a lot of emotion attached to them. They can really just add all that spice, all that flavor, all that goodness, all that magic, whatever it is that you're looking for. Bends are gonna be the things that add to your solo playing. Then you can start doing like step number 5, and this one's gonna be kind of crazy and counterintuitive to you at first, but it is do less. Do less when you're playing. It's crazy to think about this, but some of the best players in history, of course they were fast, of course they could do all this crazy magical stuff, but the things that people talk about the most, the things that probably got people hooked on them the most, is when they did less, okay? And so there's a couple of different things to kind of unbox here with doing less. You can go the B.B. King option, which is basically B.B. would stay on like one note, and then he'd maybe bend it. Right? He's just milking that note for all that it's worth. That's the thing that is really kind of magical, and you know, I can't really explain it, but it works every time that you do it, okay? Anytime you're playing like live, or maybe, you know, you're just practicing, or maybe, you know, maybe you're just showing somebody something. You know, if you do less and just make one note worth all that it's ever been worth, people will respond to it, okay? We need to learn to take little pauses, take little breaks, like a call and response type thing, right? So you maybe like do like go like, right? And then you'll pause, and then you'll wait, and then, that's the things that are gonna be really cool when you're playing some solos and things like that, is do less. A little goes a long way. That's ultimately the thing about this. A little bit goes a long way, okay? So there's your 5 simple steps. Step number 1, learn this fretboard. Get comfortable with this fretboard, okay? Learn your notes. Learn it, okay? Step number 2 is play on a single string. Play a horizontal major scale or a horizontal minor scale on a single string, or maybe you don't need to know if it's major or minor, but just be able to play on one single string and keep somebody captivated by using your instincts, your melodic instincts, okay? Step number 3, learn a full major scale, learn 2 shapes or 2 forms of that major scale, learn the minor pentatonic scale, and then learn a second shape of that minor pentatonic scale, okay? Step number 4, add bends where they are appropriate. Experiment with these bends. Experiment with them. Figure out which ones are the best. Figure out which ones are the most, you know, emotional. Figure out which ones are the most fun. Figure out what works, but bend notes. Bend them. I guess you could also add slides to that too. I know that's totally random here at the end, but bends and slides are going to be very, very, very beneficial to your guitar playing. Like I said, it's going to take you from here to there with very little effort. Okay. Number 5 is, remember, do less. Do less. Less is more. All the while you're doing this, basically what you're doing is you're creating a tool bag for yourself, okay? And you're putting in all your little skills, all your little tricks and things like that. And while you're playing, you can bust out, oh, I can bust out this major scale and have fun with it. Oh, I can bust out a single string and just kind of make some music on a single string. Very clever. Then you can go even further. Add a bend here and there. Then you can go even further. Do less. Stop playing for a second, you know? But that's basically it for this one. So that's it for me. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.